Hey Santa, glad you could stop by today. Let's go and see how candy canes are made. Well, the first thing we do when we make candy canes is we have to cook the candy. And that starts out with pure cane sugar. We're going to weigh off 20 pounds of sugar. And one other ingredient, cream of tartar, that prevents sugar grains from forming on the side of the kettle. The next thing we do is add 2.5 quarts of water. And before you cook anything, especially with high heat, you want to stir the batch and stir the ingredients together so that the candy doesn't burn on the bottom. So Charlie's stirring the batch in, getting it all blended, and now we're going to start the fire. This is a forced air gas fire, which we can make very, very hot by adding air to it. And the goal is to cook the candy, the cane sugar, very fast. Now Jenny's stirring the batch because anytime you cook something with that high heat, it will burn on the bottom if it's not stirred. Once it starts to boil, the bubbles will do the stirring for you and you don't have to stir anymore. And you can see right now it's boiling. We're steaming the batch, which is again dissolving any sugar grains that might have formed on the side of the kettle. And we'll put a thermometer in and cook this until it's almost 320 degrees Fahrenheit. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes. Once it reaches that temperature, we're going to pour it on a marble table. You can see bars that separate. What's going to happen is we're going to pour the majority of the batch out as a clear liquid, and then we're going to color a small portion of the batch red. That will eventually become the red stripe of the candy cane. Now when the candy hits the cold marble, it immediately forms a crust on the edges. So whoever's folding the candy, you want to get the hard edges folded in so they don't crystallize and cause problems later on when we're pulling the candy. This also helps the batch cool. So we're separating it into three pieces. One big one is going to get flavor. The red is going to be the stripe, and you can see we're folding those edges in. The next step is to pull the candy to make it white. We use a taffy hook, we pull the candy and twist it. It helps pack all the sugar together and make it very white, and we're adding a pure oil of peppermint that gives the candy cane its flavor. Then we take some of the white pieces, cut them into stripes, space them with the red, and put it on the outside of the batch that was flavored. And as we pull, you can kind of get to see how the pieces are striped alternatively. We're making candy cane pillows with the beginning of the batch. It's not quite ready to pull into candy canes. So this is how we make our Christmas hard candy. The key with candy canes is keeping the batch warm, and that's why we're working in front of a gas furnace. We pull it, we twist it, and that makes the stripes go around the candy. And then we cut a diagonal cut so that when you twist it, it has that handmade candy cane look. The homemade candy canes have a real point to them, as opposed to ones made in a factory or square cut by a machine. So we repeat this process over and over again until we get about 250 candy canes, and we'll make five to six different flavors, about 10 times each, for the Christmas season. And there you have it. That's how you get candy canes.